Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. It's the Pmbc meeting for September 22nd, 2021. We're waiting to get a quorum assembled, so we're going to skip the items that need a vote and get into the updates, and then we'll round back to the items that we need to vote on. So Brian, can you give us an update on the library?
Sure. Thanks for having me. Currently at the library, we're completing punch list work right now, as well as getting some quotes for some work on the concrete floors in both entries on the first and second floor. The contractor is acquiring a price that we should get tomorrow for the VCT, which is the direction that we're going to have. I think that we should have another, even if it's a virtual meeting, Steve, I think with town management, maybe yourself as well as Commodore, to show what they've gotten done the past week, sourcing some of the options, as well as seeing some of the lead times and the prices that would come with it. So that might change some attitudes or some opinions on getting something done quicker rather than waiting around for a new product. As we sit right now, we have the shelving that was back ordered that we've been waiting for. The latest date that we've received is October 4th would be the first delivery, when steel shelving would start to be installed. We would then engage with the library movers. We'll start taking books off of existing shelves. The shelving company will then go in and do the salvaging of the shelving in the existing library to bring over to the new. So the hope is that it does not take more than 2 to 3 weeks. That is the total scope of work to get all of that moved in. And at that point, we should be ready and punch list closed out for turnover and to have Sam operating out of that facility. We had our civil engineer do a walkthrough on Monday. We're expecting his punch list any day now. I gave him the concerns from the Pmbc, as well as the walkthrough that we had with Ed on last Friday. So I'll be looking for that, making sure that those items are on it as well. But as of right now, Commodore is wrapping up some things. We've had some last minute adds for some power in the circulation desk, some extra workstations, request from Nancy Glencross to make sure that we have proper amount of power for our front desk. But all in all, looking good. We're doing closeout documentation right now, and hopefully we'll have those turned over within the next couple weeks once they're all approved.
How are we doing on the preventive maintenance program?
Yeah, so I spoke with Fitzmyer Tachi, and he told me that he was going to get me a quote for you. And I have him on 3 different jobs, so it's the first thing I say every time I talk to him. So by the end of the week, this week, I will have something to you from his office regarding, in addition to the O&M manuals that we'll receive at the end of the job.
Okay, thanks. Let's see. Any questions or comments on the library?
It's been a little frustrating. I know that the trustees, as well as the staff, want to have a firm date for a grand opening, but we're being held hostage a bit by the manufacturer of the steel shelving.
Right.
We were promised the beginning of this month, and then it turned to the end of this month, and now we're pushed to the 4th of October. And while I'm a little optimistic that it will be this date, shame on me for believing them a third time. So we're hoping that that's going to be the date, and that we'll take a couple week install from there.
So you're optimistically thinking either the tail end of October or the beginning of November, Brian?
For a grand opening, yes.
Correct. All right, thank you. I'm trying to recalibrate Access AV and what I'm trying to do to get my chain management issues resolved too.
Yeah, we had the shelving vendor emailed us 2 days ago with the updated date, so I can forward you what we have for kind of our scheduled delivery dates from as of today.
So Brian, just a quick question, and I know you may not have the answer, but the email this morning about lighting, didn't really fill me with a lot of confidence that we're getting a brand new product that hasn't really been field tested, it seems.
Mhm.
Can you give me any idea about that? I'm concerned about once we get it in there, we're going to have problems, and then I can't use that space for what I need to use it for.
Sure. Problems, do you mean coordinating with the lighting control panel?
Yeah, because again, if it's a new product, then I'm concerned about controls.
Yep, definitely. So what I'll do is with that date, which I know got pushed back as well, we'll make sure that not only Griffin Electric, but the lighting control rep will be on site as well to make sure that that's integrated with I think you have 6 zones in your office to kind of 6 different type of themes that you can have in that meeting room. So I'll make sure that that's coordinated right.
Right. And I need, again, we need that training once everything comes in. Thank you very much.
Anything else on library? All right, let's move to police station. Brian?
Yep. Police station, that can be kind of short and sweet. They actually have finally started the roof cap work. Steve did speak with the foreman that work is actually extended a little bit more than the 2 to 3 day install that we thought. It'll probably extend through next week. But once that's complete, myself and the architect will go out to make sure that and do a punch list from an exterior standpoint. The masonry has been done. We've had to do some control joints that needed the sealants to be cut out. We just received, due to the lead times and the back orders of the windows, we asked for a credit back for the entire window scope, which we received an entire credit minus the $1,500 in engineering, which seemed fair. So that is one thing that I believe Steve has got brought up to the committee to vote on, so that we can take the credit for the windows, which also includes a slight add for some additional sealants around the exterior of the windows now that they're not being removed. We'll be coordinating with the waterproofing company to go in and install the new oak trim around all of the windows. We're going to make sure that myself and the architect will be there to make sure the integrity of the existing windows are okay once the trim is removed. If we need to address it at that point and do an audible, we will. But the hope is that we don't have to do much mediation work on the existing windows.
So one of the items on today's agenda, or, as far as police station was concerned, was this change order and to vote on it, but we don't have a quorum. So I'm going to hold that in abeyance along with the warrant and the meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair.
What's that?
Mr. Chair, if I could follow up with Brian, you were going to check on a schedule, Brian, as far as my cameras that are installed, as far as taking them down and when we can get into space.
I was going to bring that up to you too. Now that if this change order gets approved, then the windows will not be removed from the exterior of the building. So the only demolition is going to be the peeling off of the existing wood oak trim, and that's going to be sprayed insulated. There'll be some cut-in flashing that gets done, but there won't be any destructive work and won't be too much debris in there. Once that's approved, my intention was to work with you once I got the lead time for the oak wood to see if you needed to, if you felt like they still needed to be removed.
Yeah, there's the camera that faces the main road that is right abutting the oak trim. So I think probably the installer will want to have us take that out.
Sure.
Thank you very much, sir.
So anyway, we have a proposal for the change order and an extension of time to, I think it's December 3rd, to complete their work, now that we've modified the scope.
Yeah, the recommendation is to just extend their time. It's my opinion that it's really no fault of their own that the windows were being delayed this much. So they really hadn't done any of the trim work as they were waiting for windows to be produced and brought to the site. So now that it's just going to be the trim work that needs to be done, we'll give them a reasonable amount of time in order to finish that work and extend the contract to that date.
And I spoke to the chief about that, and I was out there today. I was on my way somewhere, and as I was passing the police station, I swung in and I said, let me look at the coping. They've got, about, they've got the front and 2 sides done and some of the back. And that's just the clip portion, and then they have to come in and put in the cap. So I'm sure they have another good week's worth of work.
Good. That's actually a little more progress. I drove by there on Monday on my way out to another meeting and stopped by and took a look, and glad to hear that there is some more progress out back and on the side.
Yeah. So anything else on police station? Okay. Thanks, Brian. The Houghton building, Rich is not with us. We don't have an update, so I apologize for that. He's at code hearings in Pittsburgh. So hopefully we'll have an update from him next week. Littleton High School roof. I think, Brian, you were going to be recommending some engineers.
Well, I was what I kind of volunteered to do last week was put an RFP together. I'm assuming we're going to have to go out for a public bid solicitation on this.
Right, yeah.
So I have an RFP format I was going to use. I assume it'll be fine. I was just going to keep it somewhat straightforward, a 2 or 3 pager. And in reviewing the report, though, I had a question about the existing report that we got. It's dated last November 2020 from the Garland Company. Can I attach that to the RFP, or is that something like I should basically rewrite that in the RFP? I just don't want to get into a situation where, I don't know if they're intended that for public consumption, I guess.
Yeah, conflict of interest. I think what we would do is draft up the RFP. We'll send it to town council.
Yeah.
And have them take a look at it, and then we can issue that.
Okay.
That'd be great.
All right. So I'll write it up and I'll suggest we attach that too, because I think it would be helpful to have the background on it. The other question I had real quickly is, I'm assuming we want to, whatever designer we want on this, we want to take it, their proposals to take it all the way through CDs and even construction administration and everything, right? We don't want to just do another study on this and get some recommendations, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure on that.
And I think, speaking to Steve Marks, he wants to do a stretch code approach to this portion of the roof.
Yep.
And what that may entail is that this portion of the roof may be at a higher elevation than the adjacent roof. So we may have to put in some kind of a faux parapet or something, but I guess that would be something we go over with the design engineer.
Yeah, I'll suggest that, that's something we want to pursue if possible, is increasing the R value.
Right.
Ask for them to propose solutions.
Right. Great. Okay. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Member input. The capital improvement program requests are due next Monday. The only item on PMBC's list right now is epoxy coating the garage bay in the police station. I happened to be out because I drove by the police station today, and the police chief saw me and he came out and he said, let's go in and look at the garage bay, which was already on my list. He's going to get a quote on that tomorrow so I can attach it to the CIP request. And I'll submit that this week. And that's my input. Anything else? Bartlett?
No, I don't have anything new. What's the purpose of putting an epoxy coating in the police station bay?
It's to prevent further degradation of the concrete and rusting of the metal grating that goes down the middle. We have epoxy coating in the Sally Port in the police station and also in the fire station, and it's a it's to it's twofold. It's preventive maintenance and then also to improve the ability of the police department to clean the bay, because
Right.
you know it's really a mess right now.
It's an impervious surface. I was involved in a parking garage once where we applied an epoxy coating, and it was pretty tricky. We had to sandblast it and then put down a neoprene coating and then the epoxy. It was a convoluted process.
Yeah. In fact, I'm sorry that Mike Scuduto is not on the call, because he kind of put together a budget for that. And I ran through that with the chief, but he wanted a little bit more in the scope. So he's going to get somebody out there tomorrow to give him an actual quote, because his scope's a bit more involved than ours. So I think Brian's estimate was about $24,000. You know, if the chief wants to bring that epoxy up the side like 6 or 8 inches, excuse me, you know, that may add a couple $1,000. So we'll see where we go with that. Anything else, Bartlett?
No, that's it.
Brian, anything?
I'm all set. Thanks, Steve.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion because we don't have a quorum. So yeah, make a motion to adjourn.
Right.
I'll
Okay.
second that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Brian Pasquale. Yeah.
Unanimous?
Roll call vote, please, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
Stickler.
Bartlett votes yes.
Brian, yep, votes yes.
Steve Moore votes yes. And that's it. Thanks for your participation. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.